Sofronio Vasquez Valentine's update. Sofronio joins Nievera And OPM champions. It has been exactly 1 year since the world watched Sofronio Vasquez make history, claiming the title of champion in the Voice USA competition in December 2024. For many, a victory of this magnitude signals a moment to pause and bask in the glory. But for Vasquez, it was merely the starting gun for a relentless schedule that bridges 2 continents. The Filipino vocal powerhouse has spent the last 12 months in a constant state of motion, shuttling between the United States and the Philippines to fulfill a demanding array of commitments. In a recent interview with ABS-CBN News, Vasquez reflected on this whirlwind year. He noted that while the public is aware that a year has passed since his win, to him, it feels as though the confetti fell only yesterday. This perception of time is a testament to his work ethic. Looking back, he admitted that he has essentially never stopped working. From a courtesy call to the president in January 2025 to headlining major events, his calendar has been full. He closed out the previous year by joining the prestigious Ayala Makati New Year countdown, a commitment that allowed him a brief, cherished window to spend Christmas with his family in Marikina. Now, Vasquez is preparing for one of the most significant stages of his career back home. He is set to headline the upcoming Valentine's concert, Champions of the Heart, scheduled for February 14th at the Newport World Resorts. Produced by Star Media Entertainment, this event places Vasquez in the company of legends. He expressed profound excitement about sharing the stage with the concert king Martin Nievera, a figure he has looked up to for years. The lineup is a testament to vocal excellence, featuring fellow champions Jed Medela, Jonah, and Clarice de Guzman, under the direction of John Prats. However, the concert is just one piece of a larger puzzle. In mid-January, Vasquez is scheduled to return to the United States to focus on his recording career. He is currently working on his debut extended play, or EP, a collection of 9 songs produced by none other than Michael Bublé, his coach and mentor from The Voice. The project is shaping up to be a star-studded affair, featuring recordings and meetings with very exciting persons. Vasquez has already recorded a duet with Bublé, a song with the legendary composer David Foster, and 3 original tracks. This bicoastal life, recording with global icons in the US and performing with local legends in Manila, defines his current reality. Yet, to fully appreciate the height of Sofronio Vasquez's current trajectory, one must look away from the bright lights of the stage and focus on the quiet, often difficult years that preceded his global acclaim. The image of the polished superstar we see today serves as a stark contrast to the reality he navigated just a few years ago. His story is not merely a chronicle of talent being discovered. It is a documentary of resilience, survival, and the quiet dignity of a man who refused to let his circumstances define his worth. Before the accolades, and before the mentorship of Michael Bublé, Sofronio Vasquez was a man navigating the crushing uncertainty of life in the shadows. His journey began in the Philippines, specifically in Misamis Occidental, northern Mindanao. He did not grow up with a silver spoon or industry connections. His early life was shaped by the fragility of his environment. In various interviews, he has alluded to the instability of his housing situation growing up, living with the constant gnawing anxiety that his home could be taken away. In that world, stability was the ultimate luxury, and dreaming was a dangerous game. For years, Sofronio walked the line between his passion and his duty. He was a familiar face in the local singing circuit, a contender who gave everything he had to the music. He possessed a voice that could move mountains, a tone that was rich with emotion and technical precision. Yet, despite his undeniable talent, the massive breakthrough, the kind that changes a life overnight, remained elusive. He faced the specific heartbreaking pain of being almost good enough. He was the finalist, the runner-up, the singer who was respected by his peers but who could not quite grasp the star that seemed to hang just out of reach. There is a specific, suffocating silence that follows a competition when you do not win. It is the quiet drive home, the fading applause, and the returning weight of practical responsibilities. For Sofronio, the dream of a music career in his homeland eventually collided with the harsh necessities of survival. The applause did not pay the bills, and the recognition did not guarantee a future. Faced with the need to build a stable life and support his family, he made a decision that feels like a small death for any artist. He packed his bags and left. He migrated to the United States, not as a touring star, but as an immigrant seeking stability. He stepped away from the microphone and stepped into the sterile, fluorescent-lit world of a dental clinic. For years, the hands that now hold awards and sign autographs were busy sterilizing instruments and assisting with medical procedures. He worked as a dental assistant, a noble profession, but one that was worlds apart from the soulful expression of his art. Imagine the internal landscape of his life during those years. Day after day, he existed in a world of clinical precision, the hum of the suction machine, the smell of disinfectant, the routine of patient care. In those moments, the artist within him was forced into a state of dormancy. The loneliness of the immigrant experience is often profound. It is the feeling of being anonymous in a vast, foreign land where no one knows your history and no one has heard your song. He was thousands of miles away from the culture that understood his soul, working a job to survive while his dream waited in the shadows. There must have been moments of overwhelming uncertainty. Standing in that clinic, watching the years pass, the fear that his time had run out must have been a constant companion. The entertainment industry is obsessed with youth and momentum, and he was a man who had pressed pause. He had to grapple with the terrifying thought that perhaps the applause was part of his past, not his future. He had to confront the possibility that he would remain the one who could sing, rather than the singer the world needed to hear. This period of his life was defined by sacrifice. He sacrificed his ego. He sacrificed the immediate gratification of the stage. He sacrificed his identity as a performer to become a provider. To the patients in the chair, he was just a helpful assistant in scrubs. They had no idea that the man adjusting the light possessed a voice that would one day catch the ear of David Foster. They didn't know that beneath the uniform beat the heart of a world-class musician. But a true calling is resilient. It survives the silence. It survives the rejection. It survives the long shifts and the tired feet. The pandemic brought even more challenges, forcing him to find creative ways to survive, including selling homemade food just to get by. Yet, through it all, the ember of his dream never truly extinguished. When Sofronio decided to audition for The Voice USA, it was a gamble of immense proportions. It was a leap of faith taken by a man who had every reason to play it safe. When he stepped onto that stage for the blind auditions, he carried a secret weight. He was risking his heart again. He was stepping onto a stage in a country that did not know him, opening himself up to judgment after years of living a quiet, ordinary life. When he sang, he wasn't just hitting notes. He was releasing the years of silence. He was singing for the dental assistant who hummed melodies while cleaning tools. He was singing for the contender who didn't win back home. He was singing for every immigrant who had to bury their passion to pay the bills. The victory that followed, becoming the first Filipino and Asian winner, was not just a triumph of skill. It was a vindication of his sacrifice. It was the universe balancing the scales after years of struggle. Now, as he prepares to share the stage with Nievera, the emotions are overwhelming. He is no longer looking up at his idols. He is standing beside them. The Champions of the Heart concert is more than just a Valentine's show. It is a celebration of a journey that went through the valley of obscurity to reach the mountain top. As Sofronio Vasquez moves between the recording studios of America and the concert halls of Manila, he carries himself with a quiet grace. He has not forgotten the clinic. He has not forgotten the struggle. He speaks of his blessings with a sincerity that suggests he remembers every prayer he whispered during the lean years. His story serves as a powerful reminder that the distance between a moment of despair and a moment of triumph is often bridged by simple, quiet persistence. It teaches us that a champion is not just someone who holds a trophy, but someone who keeps their spirit alive even when the world demands they be something else. As the lights go down on February 14th and he begins to sing, the audience will hear a global star. But in the silence between the notes, they will feel the soul of a man who worked, waited, and walked through the fire to find his voice again. It is a respectful, emotional realization that the most beautiful music often comes from those who have known the deepest silence. Sofronio Vasquez is not just a singer. He is the proof that if you keep walking, eventually, you will find your way home.